invasion of ecosystems by alien species is a problem that is becoming more prevalent as a result of global warming. Locust plagues such as this one are reaching further into the northern regions due to rising temperatures, sustaining the insects' breeding habits. The crippling swarms have become frequent guests in the Samara region on the Volga and certain other areas that have never experienced the ravenous pest before. Locusts in swarms of millions will eat almost anything and demolish crops, crippling many agricultural businesses and the livelihood of countless farmers. These swarms of destructive pests are yet another reminder that we must curb our CO2 emitting habits as the list of detrimental effects of global warming continues to grow. This summer on the Weather Channel. Looking for the surfing hotspots around the coast? Catch Beach and Surf Reports. Understand more about how the weather works in the fascinating documentary series Wild Weather. As the temperature heats up, so does the chance of severe fires and storms. Get all the information you need with live severe weather updates. And for weather when you want it, just press red on your remote. All summer on Channel 603, the Weather Channel.
Australia's only weather channel uses data and resources of the Australian Government Bureau of Meteorology. The Weather Channel. Live by it.
Well, that wet and cloudy weather continues once again through the north, in parts of the top end, but also in Queensland, starting to creep into northeastern New South Wales. As you can see, a very thick, defined band of cloud with some very cold conditions through the southeast over the past couple of days. The return of wintry, snowy conditions across parts of Tasmania. Let's start off first in the Sunshine State, and it's far from being sunny today. A bit of a cloudy morning right across much of the state with widespread heavy rainfall further inland. Along the north, some very heavy falls, but also through that southeastern corner. In the last couple of hours, overnight, we saw that heavy rainfall just north of Brisbane, affecting much of that northern parts of the coastline too. Further in the northern half of the state, widespread rainfall there, but also further inland, delivering some very heavy falls. Julia Creek recorded 92 millimetres in 24 hours, its heaviest rain in January for over 9 years. Across now into New South Wales, and that rain and cloud is mainly affecting that far northeastern corner of the state. Elsewhere, fairly dry and warm towards the inland regions. The nation's capital enjoying a fine and sunny day. A few showers around in Sydney, but they should clear for a mainly fine afternoon too. But in Victoria, a very, very chilly morning. Last night we saw some very cold conditions across the Alpine resorts. All of them, in fact, dropped below zero. Mount Hotham saw a minimum of -2. Melbourne City itself reached 10 degrees this morning, and Geelong saw temperatures at 4.5 degrees, making it the coldest January morning in over 18 years. So some very chilly mornings right across much of the state today. Now in Tasmania, we saw those very cold conditions over the past couple of days affecting much of the state. Today, this cloud moving across is set to see a bit of a grey start to the day. A few showers across the western coastline thanks to onshore winds blowing there, but relatively dry this afternoon across much of the east. Moving into South Australia now, and it's a fine day today too. Once again, we'll see those warmer conditions across the north, across the south, generally remaining fine and dry. We're seeing a little bit of cloud across the far southeast, but remaining fine through Adelaide. Now the heat continues across Western Australia, more of that very hot weather across the inland regions. We're seeing temperatures push through to the mid-40s there. Now across the southwestern area around Perth, Bunbury, Albany, another fine and hot day, or rather a bit of a warmer one. We'll see temperatures around 32 degrees for Perth, so slightly cooler, a little bit more bearable, with wet conditions continuing further north across Broome, Port Hedland and Exmouth, albeit some lighter falls expected over the next couple of days. And finally into the Territory, more of that fine sunny weather for Central Australia. Alice Springs, Uluru enjoying a fine and sunny day today. But further north, once again, as I mentioned earlier, heavy rainfall expected to continue once again. The northern parts of the top end copping the most of it, but we'll see another wet day with storms continuing Darwin over the next few days. To to the weather in your backyard over the next couple of days, and we'll see more of that heavy rainfall across parts of the northern parts of the Sunshine State. Storms possible in Cairns and Townsville, with some good falls further inland over the next few days. Longreach, Charleville, all seeing some pretty heavy rainfall. That's set to continue with some dry conditions further through the south. But the southeast seeing a little bit more of that showery weather in Brisbane, tops of 27 degrees. Showers also on the southeastern coastline. That's set to stick around for Monday. Brisbane heading for a top of around 28 degrees. Well, New South Wales, a little bit of a mixed bag. We're seeing stormy weather further inland through Dubbo, Wagga and Orange. The nation's capital too, in for a wet one, on top of 30 degrees for Sunday. But into Monday, we'll see some dry conditions. Storms just isolated through parts of Orange and also around the Sydney metropolitan area, seeing a fine looking Sunday. Clear skies, tops of 25 degrees, 28 degrees in Newcastle. But as we get into Monday, a little bit more of that stormy weather pushing on through. Sydney going for a top of around 28 degrees. We've seen some cold weather lately through Victoria, but things are starting to heat up slowly over the next few days. As you can see here, much of that wet weather is starting to ease up. In fact, we'll see a fine and dry Sunday, the end of the weekend looking pretty good, as is the start of the working week, with some warmer conditions right across much of the state. The north seeing temps into the high 30s. Further in the south, we'll see temperatures around the mid-20s. But Melbourne in for a fine and sunny end to Sunday. Tops are pleasant around 28 degrees, 24 degrees in Frankston. And as we get into Monday, we'll see an even warmer day, 29 degrees in Melbourne, 25 degrees in Mount Dandenong. In Tasmania, we'll see clear and dry skies continue right across much of the state. We'll slowly see the mercury rise from those very chilly mornings we've had right across much of the west in particular. But as we get into Monday, a few showers starting to creep into Strawn, 19 degrees, but remaining fairly dry elsewhere in Launceston, Hobart, temps around 24, 25 degrees respectively. In South Australia now, a fine day once again throughout the entire state. Adelaide seeing clear skies, top around 33 degrees, 27 degrees at Mount Gambier, with some dry conditions and fairly warm further north. And we'll see that continue once again into Monday. 37 degrees the forecast maximum for Coober Pedy, 28 degrees, and another fine day on the way for Adelaide. Went to Western Australia, the heat continues once again right across much of the state. We'll see temperatures into the 40s, the mid-40s throughout inland areas around that southwestern coastline. Perth seeing another fine day, tops around 32 degrees, 30 degrees in Bunbury, with some very light showers across parts of the south coast. Further north, we'll see some stormy weather. That should ease off by around Monday, with clear skies again in Perth and a top around 35 degrees. And finally into the Territory, dry and sunny skies continue through central Australia. The Alice Springs going for a top of 35 degrees on Sunday. Further north, more heavy rainfall on the way. Storms